printed with a unique QR code. These numbers are not tied to you or identify you in any way. They were distributed randomly during credentialing and have no way of knowing who received which number. If you are interested in auditing your own votes today, please take a photo and you can go to the website to audit it later. Shortly after results are announced, we will be posting them on the website. Please see the elections dashboard to audit your ballot. After speeches, the chair will declare the polls open for voting for our election. After our speech, the chair will declare the polls open for our election volunteers who are also delegates. Please wait and let them finish. Then we'll move forward with balloting for everyone. To help voting move smoothly, please wait until your row is directed to stand and vote. Have your credential out of its holder to advance so the election volunteer can mark the box on your credential prior to voting. Please don't fold your ballots. Show your credential and ballot to the election volunteer. We will mark your credential and then allow you to drop your ballot in the box. If you need voting assistance or have difficulty physically getting to the ballot box to cast your vote, please raise your yellow ADA card or raise your hand to let the team know and they will come and assist you. Once you've finished voting, please walk around to the other side of the section and enter your row from the other side and keep the flow going in the same direction. The smoother the flow, the faster we can get done and get on with other business. So please be mindful and courteous to the others during this process. Once everyone has had a chance to vote, the chair will declare the polls closed. No more ballots can go into the box once this happens. There will be no exceptions, so please don't wait to cast your ballot. When it's done, our election volunteers and poll watchers will head to the counting room. We will count the ballots and verify the totals as quickly as we can. We will then deliver the results to the chair for the public announcements. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, all congressional candidates, please make sure you're making your way down to the stage so that we can be ready for this. This is not a debatable report. This was just an informational report, but I do want to make sure if there are any core questions that people come to the mic so we can make sure that we answer that question, especially this first round. Hopefully we all then learn how to do this and we move efficiently through this process. And I'll come to you in just a moment. A couple of things that I will stress again, we have the ability for you to audit the results of how your vote was cast, but you need to take a picture of your ballot because that ballot was randomly assigned to you. We don't have any record of it, so we will not be able to give you an ability to audit your results after the fact. You have to take a photo of that QR code. Make sense? Also, the reason that we are having the folks come to each line and each row, that is far more efficient to have the poll watchers, or excuse me, the poll workers come to you with the ballot box than it is to get 3,500 people walking to the ballot box. So again, we're trying to save time. So if there are any questions that are pertinent to the whole group, let's go through those real quick while we're waiting for candidates to all be staged. Yeah, name and county.
Hello. Check. Victor the Snake Man Walder, Salt Lake County. Lame. Anyway, I would like to make a motion that we have CD1 and CD4 line up that way, and CD2 and 3 line up that way. We have 2 lines going this way and 2 lines going that way.
So we're going to be bringing the ballot boxes to you, and the ballot boxes, it doesn't matter which box you put your ballot in. They are different color ballots.
All right.
Those will be separated before being counted.
Never mind
that will
then.
happen with poll watchers watching in the room. But thank you for bringing that. I think there was another question somebody had. Yeah, name and county.
I don't know how to, can you hear me? Salt Lake County, is there
you know, I just want to make sure what the scanner reads is what the ballot actually says.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they do 2 scans on this. The poll watchers will watch all aspects of that. So every candidate will have their poll watchers seeing every step of that. They'll see the pass, they'll see the visual review. And Karma, I'll let you speak to anything else that you're doing that speaks to.
The scanner actually takes a picture of the, and when you go and put in your ballot number, you will see that picture and you will see how we have recorded it.
I think my concern is how the vote is counted. So while, I mean, you can do it after, but I would just like to see an actual physical person count, you know, counting the ballot rather than a machine.
We are using the machines because they are very efficient. Every ballot we can look at and then adjudicate as necessary. We have tested several times. It works very.
Okay, so let me
Mr. Chair.
raise a hand. I need hands. Okay. Yeah, name and county.
Marilyn Momini, Utah County. I was the elections chair this morning for House District 11 and Senate District 11. And all the ballots, and because we had a technical issue, we hadn't counted every single ballot and every perfectly.
Thank you, Melanie. Okay, let me just, we have all of our candidates here.
Mr. To your right,
Yes, name and county.
Sharon Memme. Listen to and who you're politely questioning.
So keep that in mind if you think, well, no, I live in CD3, but I've got a ballot for CD4. That's what happens when you have a political science professor from Delaware hired by a liberal group in Utah who has a friend in a black robe and they pick new maps for you. So that's what we get. So the 3/4 of delegates, we're keeping our voices at a minimum, that we are not hopefully you all have pens. Okay. Okay, candidates, I'm sure you can hear me. Requirement, the candidate disclosure requirement, and actually real quick, let me look at something. Just a moment. And DJ Lex, if you want to play some fun music for 30 seconds while I figure this out, that will give everybody a chance to stretch. Okay, delegates, especially those of you in the 1st District, please make your way back to your seat. Thank you. Waiting on one thing that will be very quick, and then we're going to get right to it. Okay, delegates, here's what we're going to do. It's going to take just one more minute, and so we are going to announce the results from all of our breakout sessions so that you have all of that information. Obviously, if you were in one of those races, you would have heard the results, but the rest of folks don't, and we have to announce those from the main stage. So we will announce those results. Okay, so and do you just want to put them on? While I'm reading it. Okay, delegates, please be quiet. We're going to announce the election results. These are the election results from the breakout elections that we had earlier today. In House District 4, we have Tiara Auxier with 92.2%. She is the Republican nominee. In House District 6, we have Rob Bishop with 63.6%. He too is the nominee for election. Immediately after that nomination election, we held a special election to fill the vacancy in that same House district, and Rob Bishop was elected to fill the remainder of that term. So Rob Bishop's name will be given to the governor later today when I get time to do that, and he will be sent back to represent the same district he represented 20 years ago. Congratulations, Rob. House District 12, Mike Schultz was nominated with 94.6%. House District 29, Alexis Wheeler with 63.4%. House District 59, there will be two advanced from the convention to a primary, Luke Searle with 56.5% and Jeffrey Pierce with 43.5%. House District 66, Troy Shelley will be the nominee with 79%. House District 67, J.R. Byrd will be the nominee with 88.9%. House District 69, Logan Monson will advance to a primary with 57.8%, and Daniel Gardner will also advance to a primary with 42.2%. In Senate District 1, Scott Sandel is the party nominee with 81%. In Senate District 7, I'll come back to, I don't have those results here. In Senate District 11, Brooks Benson is the nominee with 73.1%. In Senate District 18, there is a primary with Doug Fiafia at 58.6% and Daniel McKay at 41.4%. For Senate District 7, there it is. There will be two advancing from the party convention to a primary, Stuart Adams with 54.8% and Braden Hess with 45.2%. And then State School Board, we have on State School Board 4, Leanne Wood with 75.1%. And State School Board 11, Terry Hutchinson with 63.8%. And in State School Board 14, that was one of the last races that we did, that is still being tallied right now. And so we will announce those results later. Do we have the slides for the acclamation? I will also take this moment to read the names of all of those candidates who ran unopposed, and they will be elected by acclamation as the party's nominee. So these are declared the Republican nominee by acclamation. In Senate District 5, Jill Coford. In Senate District 19, Kirk Collimore. In Senate District 20, Ronald Winterton. In Senate District 28, Evan Vickers. In House District 1, Thomas Peterson. In House District 8, Jason Kyle. In House District 11, Katie Hall. In House District 23, Franklin Robinson. In House District 68, Scott Chu. In House District 70, Carl Albrecht. behind the stage, and we've got a 60-second ad. So let's do that.
This election, your choice couldn't be more important. Our candidate is in flattering lighting and full bright color. Their candidate is in grainy high contrast black and white, spotted through a telephoto lens from behind a bush, coming back from God only knows where. Our guy points at the horizon and holds a baby. Their guy doesn't have a baby. Their guy has a golf club. The voiceover for our guy is calm, measured, bright. Their guy gets the lower register, and sometimes we slow down. Our guy has clean headlines and the beautiful lens flare America needs. Here's a scary graph over a photo of their guy awkwardly laughing. Snap zoom. Do you want a snap zoom like that in office? Here's a photo of our guy saluting military veterans. Jump cuts, flashes, static, aggressive colors. You can't trust a guy with graphics like this. Our guy gets stock footage of sunrises and an American flag. Their guy's flag is upside down and on fire, intercut with overdue bills, war, and a crying baby. Our guy gets doctors and astronauts and stimulus checks. Flatline, an eagle, hurricane, the Statue of Liberty, crime scene tape, Ronald Reagan, a girl running in a wheat field to escape a dangerous sexual predator, welding, atomic bomb. This election, the choice is yours. Their guy or our guy. Inspiring slogan.
That was a good one. I appreciate that. So a couple of people have named a couple of legislators whose names were not read. We will double check, but keep in mind, if a legislative district is completely contained in within one county, that race is facilitated at county conventions. And so a couple of people brought names forward that fell into that category, but we'll double check on that. Okay, thank you for your patience as we worked through that. We still got some of the business done that we would have had to do anyway, and we saw a funny ad. So the Utah Republican Party bylaws require candidates to fill out a disclosure form where they have to disclose their commitment to and understanding of the party rules, platform, bylaws, all of those things. Those have been made available. They have been on our website for a while, as well as on Precinct Portal, I believe. And so you can go and you can review those. All of the candidates in the congressional races have complied with that requirement, so you can be made aware of that. There are a couple of candidates whose names have been out there who did not qualify to run in today's convention. There were some in our House or our breakout races, but there are also some in the congressional district races. These are people who did not comply with the requirement of being a registered Republican for a minimum of 12 months prior to their seeking our nomination. So there were two individuals in Congressional District 1 that we did not allow to proceed through our process, and there was one candidate in Congressional District 4. So join the party and run. Join the party early enough to buy in and to lean in and stick with us and then run. That's the process. You need to be a member of the party for at least a year, and we would ask you to be committed to what Republicans believe in. And to anybody that wants to join the party, do it. Join the party, but be with us. Be with us. Believe what we're doing. If you believe something else, there's another party that would love to have you. Okay, we are now to our congressional races. I am going to read through the order, and just for everybody's awareness, there is a random alphabetical draw that was done. So the ballot ordering will match up with the speech order. All of that is done by a random alphabetical draw. So in the Congressional District 1, we will first hear from Fanua, then Dave Robinson, Riley Owen. In Congressional District 2, Blake Moore, Colton Hatch, Carrie Ann Lisby. Congressional District 3, Celeste Malloy, Tyler Merced, David Harris, Bill Lyman. In Congressional District 4, Seth Stewart, Isaiah Hardman, Scott Hatfield, Tyrone Jensen, and Mike Kennedy. That will be the order of speeches. Those congressional candidates in Senate or Congressional District 1, please be ready to go. We will now turn the time over to those speeches. The timekeeper is at the very front. You will see him, candidates, as will all of you here in the arena. We will allow for people to finish their thought. So don't immediately start cheering right when the stop comes up. Let's let people finish their 1 or 2 sentences, but not 1 or 2 paragraphs. One speeches.
So I asked the guy upstairs, says, how am I going to bring peace and love to the families? Well, aloha! Malolele. Okay, my campaign is going to be like an audience participation, okay? So I have less than 3 minutes to prove that I'm the best candidate for the Republican Party. So District 1, affordability. I hope everybody else will follow along. My name is Stone Fanua, District 1. Love and peace is my mission. Now the audience participation. Look to your left, smile. Look to your right, smile. I've done my job. I wanted everybody in the Republican Party to smile. So I asked him, I said, what do I do to bring peace? He said, peace starts at home. So help me along, because my guy that was supposed to help me sing the song didn't show up today. There is beauty all around when there's love at home. There is joy in every sound when there's love at home. Peace and plenty, peace abide, smiling sweet on every side. When time of love oh sweetly glide, when there's love at home, love at home, love at home. Time goes softly, sweetly glide, when there's love at home. Yeah, we're going to stop all the shooting, the school shooting. We're going to stop the violence at home. We're going to stop divorces. We're going to stop everything. That's what we're going to do when I go and I'll return and report. Thank you.
Delegates, thank you for having me. I'm Dave Robinson and I'm running for Congressional District 1. I am a convention-only candidate. I do not believe in gathering signatures. I believe signature gathering has changed the fabric of Utah and not for the better. I am also in favor of a secure and closed border. We need to prioritize and remove illegal immigrants who are committing crimes in America. We also need to cut back on and remove the social programs that encourage illegal immigrants, and we need to encourage them to go home. I also believe in the SAVE Act and support it. I also believe in transparency and due process. There are many people, even in the leadership in our GOP, that believe that Congressional District 1 cannot be won by a Republican. I am not amongst them. I base this on fact and results. In 2020, when we ran the races for the Salt Lake County GOP, Joe Biden won by 15 points. All of our candidates that stuck with our program won. They won by anywhere from 1.5 to 10 points, meaning those same voters that voted for Joe Biden then came down and voted for Republican candidates, and they voted on policy. This is a winnable race. We have multiple issues. I believe Ben McAdams is going to be the candidate. We have multiple issues that are 80-20 and 90-10 in our favor. There are people in this room that there's been a whispering campaign that Dave Robinson's litigious. No, Dave Robinson likes due process and transparency. But for the record, Dave Robinson was accused of things that if it were true, I would be in prison. And he was accused of these things by people in our own party. So when all of my requests for a third party were denied, I had to resort to civil litigation. This is a winnable race. It's a unique district, and it will require a unique candidate, and we can win this race. Thank you.
Delegates, in the coming months, we'll be celebrating the brave men and women who, 250 years ago, fought for the freedoms that we now enjoy. 250 years later, we have much to be grateful for. But our fight is not over. Reckless federal growth and spending has left us without a balanced budget for 25 years. This is not conservatism. Over the last year, both parties in Congress have continually ceded their constitutional powers to the executive. This is not conservatism. We have enabled foreign interests and unethical tech companies to take priority over the well-being of you and me. We, the people, the citizens of the United States. This is not conservatism. We need a real conservative fighting these battles for us in Washington. But first, we have a fight to win right here at home. A judge has given us a map that favors Democrats. I won't lie to you. This is an uphill battle, and we are the underdogs. So too were our forebears, who centuries ago stood with courage and unity to build the greatest country in human history. That same courage and unity is required of us today in our fight. To win this race, we must unify our Republican base behind the nominee who can keep this district red and rooted in the conservative principles that 7 generations of my family and so many generations of yours have built here in Utah. To win this fight, we must expand our coalition beyond this arena by earning blocks critical to our victory. Our neighbors on the west side, who so frequently feel ignored and forgotten. Our moderate and independent friends who feel that their interests have not been captured. And our young people who feel anxious about the costs of raising families and buying homes. I believe in America and the American dream that has fueled our. I am not willing to let progressive ideologies dissolve that dream into a mere fantasy. of our Constitution, of deepened divisions in our communities, of managed decline of a once great republic that lost its way? Will they see a time here in Utah when we let Democrats bleed our valley with higher taxes, open borders, and more federal control in our backyard? I refuse. We are fighting to make these next years a chapter of dynamism, innovation, common sense, reasserting the constitutional principles that we were founded upon, and putting America first. Starting by putting Utahns first. My name is Ron, and that is exactly. Join me in our fight to keep red. Thank you.
Thank you. You who were CD1 delegates, take notes. Those are your three candidates. We will now be pivoting to you CD2 delegates. So wake up. You now get to pay attention. We are going to go with Blake Moore. Make sure I have the order right. Blake Moore, Colton Hatch, and Carrie Ann Lizamy.
Delegates, thank you. I am promises made, promises kept. When I first ran in 2020, Utah in history to earn a spot on the Ways and Means Committee where I knew that that work would be done. And on July just extend the Trump tax cuts, we made them permanent. From the child tax credit to the Small Business Growth Act, I passed more individual pieces of legislation than anyone else in what will be President Trump's most significant legislative achievement. What I'm most proud of achieving is passing the Trump account. These investment accounts for our children will help them prepare for their future and hedge against our failing entitlement programs. Every time I drop my son off at and it won't end there. The amount of fraud that we've uncovered will shake you to the core. My team and I continue to deliver historic funding for Hill Air Force Base, particularly the Sentinel and F-35 maintenance programs. Ever Utah elected to leadership, I'm in the best position supporting the not ability where progressive policies create dependence. Again, common sense versus crazy. I am honored to have President Trump's endorsement, his full endorsement in this election, as well as Speaker Mike Johnson and my friend Chairman Jim Jordan and countless other Northern Utahns. But there's only one endorsement that matters today, and that's yours. I have always been a convention-supported candidate, but today I'm asking you to make me the outright winner so that I will go and spend the next 6 months making sure every American knows the difference between common sense and crazy. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Oh, it's gotta be good.
Ladies and gentlemen, immigration is the most important issue we face. It's not the only issue. It is the issue that is holding us back from being able to solve everything else. Open borders causes us to be able to unfund and not be able to pay for schools, hospitals. It increases the cost of our housing. It imports crime and chaos. Until we secure our borders, enforce our laws, and put American citizens first, we will not have the resources nor the focus to achieve anything else. It is a gatekeeping issue. We solve it first, and we can do anything. I'm a hardliner on this, precisely because I care so deeply about all the other issues. I want a homeland-first foreign policy. I am done sending our treasure and our children overseas to fight for the interests of other nations. I believe that life begins at fertilization, whether that is in a womb or a dish. A third of Generation Z was murdered in their mother's bellies. It is a generational crime, and I will fight to protect the lives of the unborn. I refuse the COVID vaccine at great personal cost. I refused to let the government decide what I would put in my body and my family's. I want to shutter the doors on the ATF. No more should government agencies be weaponized against law-abiding citizens. And I want to end the Federal Reserve. Let's kill that is inflation. And above all this, I want to fight for you and let you trust me. I do not have any entangling relationships. Just like I don't want them for foreigners, I don't have them for me going into Washington. You can trust me on that. So Utahns, if you want to secure our borders, protect life, engage in personal freedom, and have bold solutions to solve our water crisis, not just for today or tomorrow, but for the next 250 years, stand with me. Trading Jack for Jill will not take over Capitol Hill. Thank you.
Friends, it has been such an honor to meet with so many of you over the past weeks. Thank you for caring about our country's future. We are on an unsustainable trajectory. Under my opponent's watch, our debt has increased by $12 trillion, and the unfunded obligations for Social Security have nearly doubled over the last 6 years. That is not leadership. Fraud and corruption have seeped into our institutions. Government is too big, costs too much, and has gone far beyond its purpose. My opponent worked with Democrats to turn a reliably red Utah congressional seat deep blue. Now, more than ever, we need real leadership in DC. Above all, the checks and balances of government must be restored. Over my 10 years in the state legislature, I reduced taxes and increased public safety. I reformed the budget process here, and I will work with conservatives in DC to fix it there. I fought to keep men out of women's sports, bathrooms, and locker rooms. I sponsored and passed one of the most important in the country. During COVID, I pushed back against vaccine mandates and mask mandates. I've worked to fix our broken immigration system and on a package of bills making America healthy again. I come from humble beginnings and know very deeply what it means to pull oneself up by the bootstraps and build a wonderful life against all odds. In pledged that we will not trade single stocks in Congress. Unlike my opponent, I actually live in the district. I will work to regain the spot on the Armed Services Committee my opponent abandoned. I'm grateful for the support of so many Utahns. I didn't buy a spot on the ballot. I'm depending on you. I pledge to you today, I am one of you. Send me to Congress and I will work hard every day to make you proud. Thank you.
Thank you, congressional candidates in CD2. Delegates in CD3, now's your time. Again, look at the back of your credential. This is the district you're voting in, maybe not the district you're living in. CD3, the speaking order that we will have is Celeste Malloy, Tyler Merced, David Harris, and Phil Lyman. And a quick note, we have heard that David Harris may have withdrawn from the race, but we have not been told that in any official way. He's not here, so since he's not here, he won't be speaking. I just want to inform all of you delegates that he's not here. We have conflict.
God, mend thine every flaw. Confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty. Whatever flaws we have in our system. Because we get our power, our rights from our Creator, and the government gets its power from the people. Fathers. No part people make up this country. Americans can continue to fix the flaws in our system have the faith, and to be a force of good in the world. I've been effective so far in my time in Congress. That all I'm asking today is that you give me a chance to bring that Utah spirit and to do things on the federal level that are good for Utah. And to the delegates in District 2 who are not in the new 3rd District, thank you for your faith in me, and I will miss you. Thank you.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died.
Protect, and the people are not being represented. That's when I have a problem, and I think we all do too. Children in a shopping cart with those little steering wheels. And pledge authority. This gives people actual skin in the game, where they know they can see that their vote is being counted and being listened to by the representative. This is a similar idea to the right of instruction during the founding of our nation. It was instrumental in the drafting of the Declaration of Independence, which we are celebrating its 250th anniversary of. We entrust our representatives to act in our best interest, but it always seems that they're acting in someone else's interest. The First Amendment does not just apply to lobbyists or to individuals, but also groups of individuals. I believe that we can come together and let our voices be heard. Let the silent majority be heard. Ladies and gentlemen, unexercised Republican power is essentially exercised Democrat power. Join with me. Let our voices be heard. Let us unite and be one and make our voices be heard. Thank you so much.
Hello, Utah. And I want to acknowledge my beautiful family that's walking down the stairs right there. Thank you for being here. You know, our problem in Utah is not a lack of trust, it's that we trust people who are not trustworthy. In fact, there are people who make a expert practice of deception. And we've got something going on right now. So I signed up to gather signatures. I know that's not popular. It was for a purpose. We did not get our signatures. There's a article coming out now saying that looks like Phil Lyman has signatures. We did not have signatures. I am completely dependent upon you. Same thing happened during the last race that I was a part of. Now, I love this state. Why does Utah, a supermajority state, supermajority red state, have liberal judges? And don't ask a Democrat, they're not the ones that did this. We're taking this country back. We're cleaning up our corrupt elections. We're stopping the invasion of America. We're shining a light where darkness has prevailed for a generation. It's called transparency. We're going to audit our voter lists. We're going to expose waste, fraud, and abuse. And we're about to witness the biggest technological advances in the history of the world. And we're going to do it without FISA and without surveillance, without warrants. No to FISA, period. We don't need to be surveilled. These people that want surveillance powers, but that don't want to secure elections. And we're done being lied to. Release the Epstein files. No other crimes required. I support Donald Trump. I support our military. I agree with Secretary Hegseth when he said the Nobel Peace Prize every year should go to the United States military. We are the ones that are enforcing peace across the world. And I'll fight every day to take care of our veterans who have sacrificed so much for this country. We owe it to them. I want to talk a little bit about water. When we look at water, those who control the water control everything in this state. And it's an important thing, and I've watched it take place. We're dealing with pirates here, and when they get what they want, you are not going to get what you want. We've got on our water in Utah, we've got to get it back to the people. Utah has some of the richest deposits, and CD3 is such a beautiful. If you take the upper Colorado River Basin, lay it over Utah, I want to say one thing. More tragic than a rebel without a cause is a without a rebel. And more powerful than any rebel is a Republican Party that believes in freedom. Thank you.
Thank you, CD3 candidates. Delegates in CD4, we are now coming to the candidates that you need to consider. And the order of those speeches will be Seth Stewart, Isaiah Hardman, Scott Hatfield, Tyrone Jensen, and then Mike Kennedy.
All right, welcome. I'm Seth Stewart, and I'm running for Congress because we haven't been able to keep our government very accountable. I have a policy that I'd like to share with you. Is a person, no matter how small. Abortion is not a states' rights issue. It is a human rights issue. So why is abortion still legal in our state? 3 binding misunderstandings that set the course for this power to take hold. And I can tell you, it's not in our Constitution, and it's not consistent with our Constitution. Everyone needs to know what I learned so that we can end the destruction of the lives of the unborn. Second, election integrity. I might be the only candidate in any race here who has proposed a complete legislative solution to SB 54. SB 54 uses signature gathering to trigger a direct primary, hazarding a pay-to-play approach to get onto the ballot and nullifying the delegate vote. But what a lot of Utahns don't realize is that the direct primary is not original to our elections in the state. It was installed in the early 1900s by the progressive movement. My proposal stops the blue shifting of our elections by sorting out the colors according to the constitutional prescription of 3 different election methods for different offices. I call them the red, white, and blue elections, and I'm urging us to restore those. You can find that description at my website, sethandrewstewart.com. Finally, finances. Elon Musk claims to have exposed over $200 billion in fraud, waste, and abuse. But far from that, the Federal Reserve dwarfs that by at least 1,000 times. Elon Musk has called to audit the Federal Reserve. I am calling to end the Federal Reserve. Article 1, Section 10, currency. Thank you very much.
He spoke about ending the overspending, the deficit, the inflationary spiral, and he spoke about ending foreign conflicts that spend American resources and American lives to no benefit to us. And to visit our friends and family, we're all being eroded. And the same issues that Ron Paul spoke about are on display. Monopolies consolidating everything. For joy. I believed that this was a turning point, that we were turning the ship around and the wrongs. And I have been disappointed with what Congress has been able to accomplish with 3 Republican branches of government. Executive orders are not going to get us out of this. We need better leaders. Congress is the people's house, and it seems like many congressmen kowtow to crony monopolies, to warmongers, and value of their own. I think that we need to push back harder, and that your representatives should be courageous. The founding fathers were aggressive. They fought tooth and nail over every piece of policy, over the writing of the Constitution. Hamilton died in a duel over a piece of policy. And our legislators should fight that hard. When you vote today, whether or not it's for me, I hope you vote for courage, for justice, and for truth. America needs it. Vote Hardman. Thank you.
When you hear Mother Freedom start ringing her bell, and it'll feel like the whole wide world is raining down on you.
Thank you, delegates. It's good to be with you today. My name is Scott Hatfield. I am a father. I am a combat veteran. I am a small business owner, a nonprofit founder and president, and I also had the privilege of earning a master's at this very university. So I live here in this district among you in District 4. So don't forget that. So for nearly 250 years, our republic has endured through growth, through hardship, and through division. And here in Utah, we've held on to something rare, our caucus convention style. That is why I'm running as a convention-only candidate. While many individuals try to undermine what we do here, this remains the voice of the people. And that matters because it means the power is still in your hands, especially in this race, unlike many others that we are voting on today. Now today you're going to hear what candidates say they'll do in Congress, and that matters, but I've spoke to many of you about what I have done over these past 5 weeks. But today I want to take a different approach.